In this video you'll see me restoring an old lighter. Don't know much about it other than when you press the lid down to open it, it should light the wick that's inside, and the wick inside can pop out so it's like a candle, which is pretty cool. First off, I need to take everything apart, which is quite fun actually, seeing how many different parts are in here just to make that little lid mechanism work. And this little spring bit here is for the flint to push it up closer. Yeah, it's really clever. I'm quite impressed. So I tried to ease this out nicely, but I just couldn't, so I thought, right, we've got to get the pliers onto it and pull this pin out. And once that came out, I realised that's pretty much holding everything together. So everything sort of came apart a lot easier and a lot quicker after that. Yeah, it was kind of cool in the sense that it was like a jigsaw puzzle that had to be taken apart first. The only problem is I kind of forgot how I took it apart, so it was quite fun trying to put it back together again at the end of it. So the white vinegar again to get off any of the rust. I've really got to find a new thing to use because this stuff, it just stinks and I hate it. But it does work and it's cheap, so I suppose that's good. So this time I had a good lid that would seal it shut to keep the smell away. I left it overnight to work its magic. So I got given these scrubby brushes. I think they're designed for cleaning grout, but they're working ace on this. And they have like a little silicone tip as well for getting right in the nooks and crannies. So it was just scrub, 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 and that made it a lot easier. And I repeated the process for every single piece of metal in there. So this is where I try to get confident with it. There's a couple of dents in here. I thought, alright, we'll try and hammer that out from the inside out. It was really hard and it didn't really work. It sort of just slid across and then made dents on the bottom. So I fixed what I could and sort of smoothed it out by tapping around it, rather than from the inside. I tapped the outside but not on it, and sort of tried to push it down a bit and smooth it out, which did work quite a bit, but you can still see it's not great. So this part is to try and make it look new. So it's a wire brush attachment for my Dremel. Well, not a Dremel, I can't afford a Dremel, but you know, micro drill. Yeah, so this pretty much just, I don't know, it's weird. It didn't polish it, it kind of changed the colour of it a bit. I don't know what was going on, but it didn't scratch it either, so it just took dirt off, I guess. I'll zoom in a bit on this so you can see it changing colour. It's really weird, I don't know what it's doing. It's kind of making it less shiny, but not dull, but more grey? I don't know, it's odd. If you know what it's doing, comment. Oh, yeah, just leave a comment. I would really like to know, because it is really bizarre. But anyway, I carried on, did the same with every other bit of the lighter on this, using that. And now to make it shine. So this is polishing wax of some sort and a buffing wheel. Yeah, just sort of heat it up with the wheel and it covers it in the brown goo, and then that when you put it on the metal, it sprays you in the face and you end up with like freckles everywhere, and it just makes a mess. And it takes forever to then clean it back off again. But once it does clean off, you have a mirror finish on your metal, in this case lighter. So it is good. It heats up really quickly, and yeah, you can get spattered all over the face. So I do recommend wearing some sort of safety glasses or a protective bunker, something, I don't know. And because it does initially just smear the wax over the metal, it just makes a complete mess, and it does take a long time for it to then clean it back off and polish it off. I don't know if maybe I'm just putting too much wax on it, maybe it just needs a little bit, and then that sort of polishes it rather than covering it and then, I don't know. But that's the way I seem to do it, and it seems to work, so yeah. And again, I repeat the same thing with everything else in there. Well, not everything, all the external stuff. I didn't see the point in polishing the internal stuff, because that'd just be silly. So this is just threading the fuel bit, I guess. So I'm just putting the wick in. It's just like a wick from a Zippo lighter, and then putting the cotton stuff around it, stuffing as much in as I could, because I figured, why not? Just pack it all in. Yeah, it took a bit of a struggle to get it all in. I ended up pulling a bit of it out. And I've kind of realised that maybe you need some space for the actual lighter fuel as well as the cotton. And now for the assembly. Just getting everything back in and trying to remember which way I put everything. I really enjoy putting stuff back together again. It's like fixing things is just one of the things I really enjoy. Especially things like this when I have no clue what I'm doing. It's just, this looks like it should go there, this should go there, and hopefully it does. And maybe I won't put the flint wheel on backwards, which I did. So I had to take it all apart again and then put it all back again together again. That was infuriating and quite disheartening, but I did it and I didn't break it, so I'm happy with that. So this bit is, I believe it's to do with keeping some tension against the lid, so when you flick it down it's got a bit of spring against the flint. I could be wrong, but yeah, if you see there, it's sort of, when you press down it wobbles about and it's trying to push back up, so I'm guessing it's a tension sort of, because when I put it in it was really hard to get the lid to line up. Would you call it a lid or a lever? I don't know. But anyway, this is the outer casing that just hides the bit where the flint is located, and I guess all the other internal workings. So that's on a lever as well. And I used just a small framing nail to use as a pin, just cut it down and hammered it into place, and as you can see that it does the trick quite nicely. So yeah, I just found this weird piece of metal that is really good for hammering stuff in. So that's where the flint goes, and that's when I lost the spring bit. It was just behind that little lid at the back. But it took me ages to try and find that. And this spring is designed to push the flint right up against that flint wheel. And there you have it. I fixed the lighter, and it's so cool. I just love how just opening it lights it. It's amazing. I'm happy with it anyway. Thanks for watching. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram by searching Teasnees. Use hashtag #TeasNees on Twitter or Instagram to show me any that you've made. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you want, leave me a comment. Bye!